And don't forget, you can watch us. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. And it's hard to believe that summer's right around the corner, and that's when many young women will be making their way to Vicksburg to see who will be crowned for the next Miss Mississippi. Joining us today is one of those hopefuls, Miss Hattiesburg, Miss Katelyn Perry. But in the meantime, she's up to some good things with her foundation and more. So welcome, Katelyn.
Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations, girl, on Miss Hattiesburg.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
So when did we get that crown?
Hopefully we get it June 8th.
So we're going after the crown of Miss Hattiesburg, hopefully getting us to the Miss Mississippi. Is that the way it goes?
That is how it goes.
Alrighty.
So we'll be in Vicksburg for a week, and then, it'll all come to an end on June 8th, and hopefully we walk away with a new crown.
I hope you walk away with a new crown. But, even though I think it's all about the experience, but also I think one of the conversations I love having most with young women who compete in the circuit is the way that they give back to their community. And each one of you have such a unique way that you choose to do that. So you have chosen to do that through Crowns for a Cause, which I think is really cool. So explain that to us, Katelyn.
Absolutely. So service has always been a huge part of my life. That's only been amplified by my participation in the Miss America organization, my personal community service initiative or platform. That's what we started out calling it. I think that's what a lot of people still know it as, is Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, which is an organization that means so much to me. And a few years ago, I knew that I wanted to do more for them, but also I wanted to use my unique opportunity that I have to mentor to young pageant girls to teach them about why service is so important, kind of combine those two passions of mine. So I started Crowns for a Cause, and since then have just been blown away by how big of a success we've been able to make it in the last 3 years.
I know this is the third year. Now, in the first year, you guys had some pretty outstanding numbers.
Yes.
How many boxes of Band-Aids?
80.
If you don't know,
Yes.
I do. Don't worry.
80,000 boxes of Band-Aids in that first year.
Did you count every single one of them?
I didn't, but
I'm picking on you.
But yes.
So why are Band-Aids so important? Like, why is that? It's a little thing that can bring such joy, or just as necessary for the Children's Hospital. Why can Band-Aid, or how can Band-Aids make such an impact?
Yeah, such a little thing. And people always make comments. They're like, Band-Aids, hospitals have Band-Aids. Well, of course they have Band-Aids, but so frequently they request those fun boxes of children's Band-Aids, because when you're a child in a hospital and you're having to receive a shot or an IV or have a procedure done, it's important for them to be able to focus on something like picking out which fun character Band-Aid they're going to get to sport around after, instead of focusing on what's happening to them. And it also allows them to make a decision for themselves in a time when they're not able to make decisions for themselves. So much is happening around them. People are talking for them. So it makes them a child for a small moment. And that's why the hospitals love to have those fun character Band-Aids.
Katelyn, I'm a mother of two young girls, one 11 and one still 4, and that is the biggest hit. Like, they want the fun Band-Aids, and then every mother or parent listening knows that their kid at the certain age, around that 3 or 4 age, they'll fake like, oh, I got a bubba,
Yes.
I want a Band-Aid, don't need one. So,
Yes.
That is something that we can completely overlook. But gosh, for a child that's going through something like that, or having to be at Children's, that little extra touch can mean so much. Now, in the second year, you guys switched from Band-Aids, or maybe kept doing them, but also started with children's socks. How many did you gather in your second year?
A little over 40,000 pairs of children's socks.
So, and the purpose for that would be, like, why was that a small joy for those children?
Again, something fun that after, reaching a milestone, like, hey, we're going to run down and get this blood drawn. But then afterwards, you can come up here and we've got this box of fun socks and you can pick out which pair you want. So just an incentive just to get them through the next day, the next procedure, whatever that looks like.
So these are big numbers, Katelyn. Very impressive. Crowns for a Cause. 80,000 boxes of Band-Aids, 40,000 pairs of children's socks. I would have been impressive in 800 and 400, right?
Yeah.
So when I say where are they coming from, I know you're not smuggling them off a truck or something. Although if you are, keep it up. You're not caught.
Why not? For the kids.
For the kids. But so how are you rattling? Obviously, you're not out buying these, out of your own pocket. So how is Crowns for the Cause getting these large numbers of donations?
Well, we have right now about 130 ambassadors from all across the country. So these are young girls that want to get involved in their community. They want to give back. And so they have joined forces with us, and they are all across the country holding drives and harassing their friends and family for donations, and buying these fun pairs of socks and Band-Aids and taking them to their local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. That way we're able to have a reach far outside of Mississippi. Mississippi, which was so important to me as well.
So this is a little bit different than other pageant contestants who, do they call it the platform now? What is it?
The technical term right now is community service initiative.
Community
Yes,
service
ma'am.
initiative. Okay, next year it's going to change. I'm going to need
Yes, it will.
flashcards. I need all the things. But not everyone turns it into like an official 501c, and that's not knocking any of the others. Why did you choose to go that extra route, Katelyn? Why did you choose to say, hey, this is something that I want to last beyond, obviously, my years of competing for any crown?
Because exactly what you just said, it is fabulous that I get to use the platform that I have through the Miss America organization to talk about this and to get the message out. But this is a lifelong passion of mine, and this is going to be something that far outlives having a crown on my head. So it was important for me now to go ahead and take those steps. That way we have longevity, over the years, and we're seen as a credible organization. That's why getting that 501c3 nonprofit status was important to me.
So you're in your third year. Do you guys switch or look, or do you ask the hospitals what do they need, or do you just kind of figure out what are we going to rally around this year?
Yeah, so I have a great relationship with Mississippi's hospital here in Jackson, Batson Children's Hospital. So I use those connections to talk to them every year about what they are looking for. The first year it was Band-Aids, and then the second year we had donated so many Band-Aids that they were like, maybe we could take a pause on this. So that's why we decided to do something like socks, because it's just something that universal, all the kids would enjoy. And then this year they were desperate for more pairs of Band-Aids, so that's why we decided to do that again.
Well, I love that too. It's just not getting on autopilot. It's going back and connecting to your community and seeing sort of what they need. Katelyn, how did you find yourself wanting to pursue the track there for the pageant circuit or for the Miss America organization? All the right names, getting them correctly. What inspired you to sort of get into pageants?
Well, like I said before, pageantry has always been a huge part of my life. I've been competing for as long as I can remember, and so it just made a lot of sense when I became the correct age to start competing, first in the Miss Mississippi's teen organization and now the Miss Mississippi competition, because I grew up watching it. I mean, it was a national holiday in our household to watch the Miss Mississippi pageant every year or to go to Vicksburg and attend, so it really is a lifelong dream that I'm getting to live out by competing in Vicksburg. I'm now the big girl that I watched on TV every year, so it's really special.
And you're actually headed through to Vicksburg to watch your friends and the teens. So what will be happening in Vicksburg this weekend? So
they started off this morning, and the girls had their interviews. They've got a full day of rehearsals, and then tomorrow they will have 2 preliminary competitions, and then Sunday they will have the final show, and the top 10 will recompete. But throughout all 3 of those shows, the girls will compete in the fitness aspect, evening gown, onstage question, talent, and then Sunday at about 3:30 we'll crown a brand new Miss Mississippi's teen. Very exciting.
Who will go on to serve for a year, just the same way that Miss Mississippi will whenever she receives her crown. And then they too go on to a Miss Teen.
Miss America's Teen.
Thank you, that one.
Yeah, and it was really cool this year. They held the 2 competitions together, Miss America's Teen and Miss America, both in Orlando in January. So it was really cool because those teens got to have the huge Miss America experience as well.
I know the organization has gone through a lot of changes, transitions, growing pains, whatever you want to say, over the last couple of years. And it may look different for some of us who grew up watching it in a certain way for a certain age. Why should people still be interested in supporting the girls, watching what they're doing in the Miss America organization?
When I like to talk about the relevancy of Miss America, I like to talk about my personal experience. I mean, I'm sitting here with you having a conversation. I've walked into job interviews in a room full of men who probably thought I had no business being there. I've been on TV. I have a 501c3 nonprofit. And I think that all of those skills that I have and being the person that I always dreamed of being, I attribute that to my experience in the Miss America organization. And I think that that is why it's so relevant. It teaches you valuable life skills, and it gives you a goal to look forward to and to work towards, not only towards a crown, but I mean, these are skills I'm going to take with me the rest of my life. So.
And all the giving back within the community. So Crowns for a Cause. Katelyn, if we want to find out more information or donate some Band-Aids, how do we do that?
Yeah, you can look us up on social media. All of our social media handles are at Crowns for a Cause, or again, that's how you can find out how to get involved.
Well, best of luck June 8th.
Thank you so much.
Maybe we'll have you back in here with a new crown on you.
Oh, I hope so. We're going to manifest it.
If you do, then just come on back, girl. You know how to find your way here.
I'll be here.
All right, you guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.